The moment is now. Are you ready?
Let's play Armis. Wow, that's strange that the computer would allow me to have the side that has the nuke pretty much protected. Let's play it out. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Took it. Just that easy. For him to do it, he would have to go all the way around. He can't go straight just like I just did. He'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Need at least 2 moves to execute it, and my president can take it along this path right here. Not that I would actually do it, but you know. Oh, I guess that's I guess that's why it chose to go with that side. Let's go here. Now that the child has done its job in terms of taking the nuke, it is a little bit more expendable. Now the child is a very flexible piece, so it can climb over any of the non-offensive pieces, and it can go up to 4 spaces, so it can travel far, quickly, and is very, very agile. So you still want to hold on to it as long as you could, but having the president just zoom down and take your flag, or really for the most part take your reserve by way of the flag, is a little bit too easy. So I'm going to put a couple more buffers in the way of the president so that it doesn't get to my flag that easily. But I do want to get the child out of the way as quickly as possible. So hopefully on the next move I'll be able to move that child behind the religion, and maybe even move the diplomat down. I'm not sure about that part, but that should be more than enough of a buffer for that president. Okay, Vice President 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to sacrifice that. Let's see. Now that single move enables the president and vice president both to focus in on the child, while at the same time the vice president is in range of my Marine. So it looks like either I have to give up on the Marine or give up on the child, or bring the child in front of the diplomat so that so that there's only one of my opponent's pieces, which in this case will be the vice president, is the only one that's posing a threat. And then after I move the the well, let's see here. Let's think this out. Yeah, that might be the better move. Let's just do that. I was thinking if he moves his president over here, then he again has two pieces focused on that one piece. At that point, I'll just have to give up on that one piece. But in the meantime, I'll fall back, probably put my Marine over here. Yeah, I'll put my Marine over here to try to get out of the way of his executive, and at the same time to give my child some space to come back over here to a level of safety that I'm comfortable with. Now, with this move, he's posing a threat with his Marine onto my president as well as my helicopter. But right now, the way they're situated, my helicopter is protecting my president, and my president is protecting my helicopter. So I can leave that the way it is right now. But what he's trying to also do is to prevent me from coming over here to do what he did to me by threatening the flag from afar. Let's see here. Alright, I'll go into an advanced move in a moment. So I'm going to do this. The helicopter is protected by the Army. The Army's protecting everything in this area. What I'm going to do is to go out here. If I go out here, there's no protection for the president out here. However, there's a move, it's a tactical move called the slingshot. And basically, and you'll see it in action, so you'll see why it's called the slingshot. But basically what happens is, if the president and vice president are aligned on the same row or the same column, depending on how you see things, then when that piece is taken, and we'll try to see if it will happen. Right now I'm threatening his president. Wow, that was pretty quick. Now you see why it's called a slingshot. Because the president was taken, the vice president ascended to the presidency, and now with that, boom, it's able to take whatever took the other piece. And a lot of times, believe it or not, people will not see that move, and it will come as a deep surprise. So now we still have the original threat onto the flag. So the computer is either going to have to push up something else, do some form of a block, or it can't capture, because this Marine here can only go 3. 1, 2, 3. So it can only go here, 1, 2, 3 here, or in that region. Alright, that's a good move, because if I take the flag, because the reserve is next to the flag, it will get sacrificed, and then with that, the Marine will take the president. So I'll keep it there for right now. That move basically is holding his Marine back. So I'm not going to charge down there right away, because after he takes it, then he starts to come forward again. This holds him back until he gets one of his other men to block up that corridor. In the meantime, I can try to put some pressure on his executive to move away. Oh, let's see, no. I was thinking, if I use my Marine to go 1, 2, 3 and take out his Coast Guard, then that would drag or tempt him to drag his use his Marine to come here, and then I can use my president to come down and take his flag, and again, basically his reserve. But then he can use his Marine to 1, 2, 3 take the president anyway. So that's not a good move. All right, but let me get my mover in. Or should I say, let me get my Coast Guard in, and to put a threat on his Coast Guard. I'm going to put my mover, use my mover to put the Coast Guard in, to put a direct threat on his Coast Guard, or to draw his Coast Guard away from that area so that I can take it with my Marine, if not with the Coast Guard. Okay. Now I want to try to take his Coast Guard around here so that it's far enough away from his Marine, but at the same time close to his executive, so that I can ideally get it, let's see, 1, 2, 3, in either this box here or this box here, around in here, but not here. Let's see if I can get it around. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so from this white box going this way, or from this black box going that way, that would be the ideal areas. Most ideal would be over here, so that my Marine can get to it. But if need be, I go this way and take it from either one of these two boxes. Alright, now that he has this child covering, not really covering, but providing some level of blocking, he can come in this area. Well, let's see, because that would be taken. So he, 1, 2, 3. So he can come in this box. Yeah, that's about as far as he can go. So instead of having to 1, 2, well, I don't know why he did it that far. That's pretty far. See, at this point where he's at, he's not covering. At least I don't see the coverage. 1, 2, 3. He's not covering. Well, what I didn't notice before is that his army was covering his reserve in the first place. So he really didn't even need to bring his Marine down, or unless he moved the army there. Maybe he did. I don't remember. But either way, let's see, do I want to use... No. See, if I take his child, I lose my diplomat and my religion. If I lose my religion, then he's just going to bring his president down and take the flag and get the reserve. So I don't want to do that. If I bring my Marine, let's see here. Alright, let's just look at this particular piece. It's threatening the helicopter, which is covered by the Army. It's not threatening the president. Alright, that's good. If I move my Marine over here, then this Marine can capture it, and this Coast Guard could capture that Marine, but then it would be Marine for Marine, and I don't want to do that, even though I have 2 Marines in the computer only has one. I don't want to lose that one either. If I move my child, then that opens up my Marine to this Vice President. So I want to move my Marine out of the way. That seems to be the top priority right now. Do I want to advance or do I want to retreat? More than likely I will retreat, but let's look at it. If I go here, 1, 2, 3, that is not a good move because the Army can get to it as well as the Marine can get to it. If I go here, neither one can get to it. 1, 2, 3. Alright, if I go here, now at this point I'm threatening the Army because I can go 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. I'm also threatening the Vice President, although it's covered by the helicopter. It can just do a flyover of 2 spaces, 1, 2. But I'm also threatening the President. So I'm threatening 2 pieces, the Army and the President, if I go here. And at the same time, I'm still providing coverage for the child and religion. So that sounds like the best move for me. I didn't look at his jet. It's not in the flight path, so I got lucky on that one. I should have looked at the flight path for his jet. Okay, now because I had a threat on 2 of my opponent's pieces, usually that means that one will get moved and the other will be available for capture. In this case, that was the case, but sometimes what will happen is you can use one piece to protect the other piece, which is what he should have done. He should have taken the President and moved it here, and in that case he would be covering, his President would be covering his Army, and at the same time his Vice President as well as his helicopter would have been covering his President if he moved right here. So but since he didn't, I can capture his President. Now in doing that, if this was the only Marine that I had, that wouldn't be such a good move, because that would move my Marine too far west, and this, he's heavy over here. There's a lot of power for him over here, so it would enable him to come down in this region. But because I have 2 Marines, and one is still in the setup zone, still at base, and still protecting the flag and the reserve, because that one is still there, then I should feel comfortable doing this particular move. Okay, with that move, excuse me. With that move, the Marine is threatening my President. Now I can go down here and take the child, and the only thing that I lose is my diplomat and religion, and as you can see, the same threat level is not there as earlier, since I took the President that was in this row. So that's a move option to think about further. Okay, where is? All right, the nuke is his nuke is already gone. So I think I can do without the diplomat and the religion at this point. This piece here, the army, more than likely will respond to me taking the child by moving down here, close to the reserve, because that's what my next move will be. But then his Marine should retreat. If not, then I will definitely start to try to make some moves down in this direction to cover for my president. If my opponent's army doesn't retreat to cover the reserve, then my next move is to take the reserve. If it does retreat to cover the reserve, then I'll use my Marine to come probably over here. Yeah, to come over here to put a threat on the army. And now at that point, more than likely, the computer will use the Marine to retreat to cover. Or he also has the president. So you have the Marine to retreat or the president to retreat. Now, if he uses the president to retreat, even though it's far away, it still is covering the helicopter. Not such a great move. It might be out of the zone 1, 2, 3. Yes, it's out of the zone of my my Marine, but it's not out of the zone of. Let's see here. If I go here. Okay. I just got to look really hard. I don't want any surprises. I have to be more than 2 spaces away from his army because that is the reach for the army. But the reach for the Marines is 3 spaces. So as long as I'm 3 spaces away, I can reach it, but it can't reach me. Now he can move over here. Okay. Now again, he's in line with my flag. With my Marine here, if he takes my flag, he's going to end up with my reserve because they're next to each other, and that's one of the rules. So if he gets the reserve, then I'll just use my Marine to take his president. But by that time, I will already have his well, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Well, he'll have my reserve before I have his reserve because I've got to take his army first. So I should put forth a buffer. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. I'll put the buffer first. Now that's covered. The child is covered by my my Marine. So if he takes the child, then I take his president with my Marine. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.
Let the whole world see us through your eyes.